Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, aircon filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the 5FM main news. The headlines. Zambia's death registration under 20%. ZAMSA commences distribution of 700 million kwacha mop-up stock. Zimbabwe mining boss head for fraud. This main news bulletin is also streaming live on the 5FM Facebook page and YouTube channel. With the details, I'm Hebet Mutabi. The Zambia National Public Health Institute latest report has revealed that Zambia is able to account for the death of over 80% of the population. Speaking at the launch of the Mortality Surveillance Strategy Plan and the Zambia Sample-Based Mortality Surveillance Action Plan, ZNPHI Mortality Surveillance Coordinator Stephen Chanda says this means thousands of people die without leaving a trace in any legal record and official statistics. Dr. Chanda says that the biggest challenge is that this is because data collection of the deaths is not done systematically by different stakeholders and that information is not shared with top command. He says that there is need for an integrated mortality surveillance system that can be able to capture deaths even in rural setups, as most of the deaths there are unaccounted.
Zambia's mortality surveillance system is not that mortality data is not being collected. It's being collected, but by different stakeholders. And once they collect this information, the information is then not shared. So what happens is we, at any given point, do not have a complete picture of what is happening in the mortality space. So we saw this problem with the COVID-19, where there was a lot of interest around Zambians dying as much as what we're seeing in the West. And so we wanted now to answer that question. So we then looked at what data sources do we have, but then we couldn't find that information. So we were not able to have that information in real time.
Government and Trademark Africa have entered into a partnership support agreement to upgrade the Nakonde one-stop border post aimed at improving border infrastructure and reducing congestion. Speaking at the signing ceremony in Osaka today, Minister of Finance Tumbeko Musokotwani says by improving infrastructure at the Nakonde one-stop border post, government aims to enhance clearance efficiency along the Dar es Salaam corridor, reduce cargo dwell time, and ultimately facilitate trade flows, thereby bolstering economic growth and prosperity. The minister states that it is envisaged that the improvement on the Nakonde one-stop border post will have substantial gains in East Africa's trade and regional integration. Dr. Musokotwani says that the government will ensure timely and swift evaluation of the project and is committed to developing and implementing a project sustainability and continuity plan to ensure seamless continuation of the benefits of the intervention beyond the duration of Trademark Africa's funding. He has since implored the stakeholders to start preparing for the coming changes and draw up change management plans in consultation with Trademark Africa.
Yield tangible benefits, not only for Zambia, as we have heard, but for the region through efficient clearance. And I want to add here that what is happening in Nakonde is only one of the initiatives. In the next few days, the government of Botswana and Zambia are meeting in Livingstone to assess progress also in terms of decongesting the border post at Kazungula, which is also a very busy border post. It is all the same. We don't want a situation whereby when business approach a border post, in their mind they say, now this is the time to suffer because processes are slow.
And speaking area, Trademark Africa Chief Executive Officer David Beer says that the UK government has extended a grant to the tune of 197 million kwacha to the project and will facilitate infrastructure.
Who has extended their hands with a grant of 197 million kwacha to enable this work. It's important to note also that this will be the first part of a two-part project in collaboration with the World Bank. And the World Bank country director is here with us today. The UK's financing will facilitate infrastructure upgrades, such as access roads, cargo scanning systems, digitization of clearing processes, cross-border information exchanges, and the implementation of smart digital solutions, such as smart gates. We are aiming for these upgrades to improve clearance efficiency to reduce cargo dwell time by at least 30%.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency has commenced the distribution of the 700 million kwacha worth of medicines and medical supplies procured through the recently conducted mop-up exercise in hospitals across the country. Last month, ZAMSA awarded contracts worth 700 million kwacha to 24 local suppliers for the supply and delivery of health commodities through a mop-up exercise, a move aimed at immediately addressing the stock imbalances in hospitals offering secondary health care services. Agency Corporate Communications Senior Manager Bradley Chingobe explains that with the arrival of the life-saving commodities, ZAMSA has put in place measures that will ensure a quick delivery of commodities to tertiary and level 1 hospitals within 4 weeks. Mr. Chingobe says this will immediately mitigate the stock imbalances at tertiary service delivery points. He says that so far, 6 out of the 14 targeted tertiary health facilities in Osaka province have since received their allocation, representing 43%, while the remaining will receive commodities within this week.
The stock for facilities located in other provinces is currently being sent to the respective regional hubs for easy and quick distribution. It must be noted that the distribution of stock from the mop-up exercise is being done parallel to routine orders and the last mile distribution of health commodities such as health center kits to facilities as per ZAMSA distribution schedule.
Education Minister Douglas Siakalima has handed over cholera mitigation materials worth over 500,000 kwacha donated by health learners to Simon Mwansaka Pwepwe Primary School in Lusaka. Speaking during the handover ceremony today, Mr. Siakalima said the investment will go a long way in ensuring that various schools in cholera-affected districts uphold a clean and safe environment for learners. He notes that it is such measures that inspire parents to entrust their children with a school and the country to guarantee health learners who will be the future productive populations. Mr. Siakalima has implored all the teachers at the schools to take seriously the maintenance of a clean environment.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to remind my fellow citizens that the fight against the cholera starts in our homes, our communities, and goes with us in our workplaces and institutions of learning. This means that we all have a responsibility to contribute to the fight. The school health program is one way the government and its partners are preventing cholera and other illnesses in the school environment. There is, however, a shared responsibility with the school health teachers, the pupils, the parents, and health facilities to ensure that we get both the health and educational outcomes of the program.
Meanwhile, Healthy Learners Chief Executive Officer Lonnie Hackett says the cholera response kits being handed over to the Ministry of Education is one strategic intervention to insulate school-going children from the burden of disruptions that come with cholera outbreaks.
The cholera response kits being handed over to the Ministry of Education is one strategic intervention to insulate school-going children from the burden of disruptions that come from cholera outbreak, especially those that lead to school closures and general illness among learners. But this is not a reactive intervention. It is part of a broad package of Zambia's government school health program. Disease prevention and mitigation in schools is one very important deliverable under the program. Our role and commitment is to support the government and realizing both the educational and health outcomes of the school health program.
In other news trending this evening, the Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency has seized and withdrawn from the market more than 1,000 cases of non-compliant packaged water in Osaka, valued at more than 84,000 kwacha. Opposition citizens first has described the remarks by the Inspector General of Police, Grafao Musamba, that the Zambia police officers who are loyal to past leaders will be flushed out of the system as sad. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In business news, Build Zambia 2064, a non-governmental organization focused on raising a generation of Zambians committed to lead the country towards first world status by 2064, has launched its Inter-Learning Institutions debate program, dubbed Let's Talk Development in Schools. Speaking at the launch this morning, Build Zambia 2064 Chief Executive Officer Joseph Mushalika says the Let's Talk Development Debate program is a 5-year program that is envisaged to transforming the country to a standard that will be appreciated by generations to come. Dr. Mushalika has noted with concern that since the attainment of independence in 1964, the youths have had decreased national leadership roles. He has also observed that the levels of disinterested and indifference to national development issues among the youths is a cause of concern, hence the urgent need to revive and rejuvenate their desire for personal and national improvements. Dr. Mushalika says that the debates aim to inculcate a culture of young Zambian citizens engaging in discussions on Zambia's economic transformation and instill a spirit of patriotism, among others.
For those of us who could have been alive around 1990, 1991, the hour has come for us to get back to multi-party politics was the talk of the nation. And I think now the time has come when transforming Zambia into first world status must become a topical issue. Build Zambia 2024 proposes to initiate a later stock development school, college, and university debate program.
And speaking at the same event, Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary Joel Kamoko said that the debater program will add more to the agenda of transforming the education system to a more meaningful primary engine of national transformation.
We notice that this is allowing every citizen, whatever their status quo, not to be committed and competent teachers. And let us take note here that the president persuaded the younger people that you cannot 1 minute use Solwezi to apply for a job and refuse to report in Solwezi.
Ends business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In foreign news, we take you to Zimbabwe, where President of the Zimbabwe Miners Federation, ZMF, has been arrested for fraud after allegedly attempting to sell 3 mines she does not own. Police spokesperson Paul Nyati told a local media that Henrietta Rushwaya had been taken into police custody after a complaint had been received about mining transactions. She appeared in court on Wednesday and the state prosecutor opposed bail. Last year, Ms. Rushwaya was convicted of trying to smuggle gold worth over $330,000 out of Zimbabwe in 2020. She was a central figure in the Al Jazeera Gold Mafia documentary, which exposed how huge amounts of gold had been smuggled out of Zimbabwe to the United Arab Emirates. Here's the roundup from the BBC for other world news stories.
A UN report says Russia has created a stifling climate of fear in occupied areas of Ukraine since its invasion 2 years ago. The report from the UN Human Rights Office accuses Russia of the systematic suppression of Ukrainian language, culture, and identity. Thousands of Polish farmers are holding a protest against rising costs and competition from cheap agricultural produce from Ukraine. They're blocking roads and border crossings with their tractors. It comes as the European Union and member states have agreed to extend duty-free imports of Ukrainian produce, which have been a lifeline for its war-torn economy. Farmers across Europe want uncontrolled imports of both Ukrainian and Russian. The Israeli army says it's killed 90 gunmen in its ongoing operations in and around the Al-Shifa hospital complex in Gaza City. Hamas contradicts that account.
In sports news, the Absa Cup 2024 will feature 21 teams after FAS and Absa approved the significant reimagination of the competition format that will see the winner walk away with 800,000 kwacha. The new format will feature 10 provincial teams, 7 MTN Super League and 4 FAS National Division 1 teams with a round of 16 featuring 10 provincial teams added prior to the quarterfinals. Defending champions, Forest Rangers miss out on the expanded format after finishing outside the top 7 as at week 17. Speaking at the announcement of the 5.5 million kwacha rich new tournament format, draw and unveiling of the new Absa Trophy, Absa Chief Financial Officer Venus Hampinda asked millions of Zambian supporters to champion the spirit of unity and excellence through the Absa Cup. And FAS President Andrew Kamanga thanked Absa Bank for weathering various economic storms over the years by retaining its support to the Zambian game for the last 17 years. We now have the evening weather report brought to you by Class Econ. Stay tuned.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Evening will be partly cloudy, slightly windy and mild with a chance of isolated rain and thunder. Ends the evening weather report.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. The Zambia National Public Health Institute latest report has revealed that Zambia's death registration completeness is under 20% as the country is unable to account for the death of over 80% of the population. The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency has commenced the distribution of the 700 million kwacha worth of medicines and medical supplies procured through the recently conducted mop-up exercise at hospitals across the country. The president of the Zimbabwe Miners Federation has been arrested for fraud after allegedly attempting to sell 3 mines she does not own. For more news, follow us on Facebook at 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Hebet Mutavi.